Hey, it's Reverend Bob again. It's Monday morning before daylight, which is real unusual for me. But hey, you got a message, right? This morning's message is going to take a little getting a grip on. I've been thinking about this for many months. It was first shared with me with, again, I woke up with that idea in my mind. So, if I'm normal, that's great. If I'm abnormal, I can't do anything about that. But the message was dimensional. I don't have any trouble, and you don't either, looking at three dimensions and an object or something that you have in your life and saying, well, it's three dimensional. It's got height, weight, height and width and depth. Then you look at two dimensions, and we got very little concept problem with that either. In that we're doing, something flat. It's the flat earthers, basically. It has two dimensions. It has a width and a depth, and it's a box. It's got sides in there, this and this. You think of things that even as a criticism of saying that something is one-dimensional. You think of that as being a criticism. It's one-dimensional. You can't see height, and you can't see depth, and you can't see three dimensions. And we talk about science fiction with multi-dimensions and fourth dimensions, and anybody thinks they understand that needs to get a grip on themselves. Parallel universes and multi-dimensions and things. And you know what? I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying it's hard for me to wrap my mind around it. The other concept that was difficult for me is one-dimensional. Again, because one dimension suggests to me that it's less than two, and it's less than three, so it must be smaller. It must be something that came before and didn't amount to much. But the thing that popped with me was, okay, it's one dimension. We think of one dimension as just a speck. It's so small, it's just a speck. But conceptually, what if that speck was so big that everything that you and I have ever even considered as far as our world, our universe, our cosmos, the billions of light years from one side of this to the other, are all inside of that one speck. And that's that to me, that's the one dimension that I'm interested in. Okay, and it has to be that way when you think about it. Time only exists in that one dimension. It is that space that we look at, and we can look at a radio telescope and see something a billion light years away, and it's really just the edge of what we're looking at. That goes on over, as numbers outside of our knowing of light years away. Is that inside of all that is that one speck, and it makes you wonder what's on the outside of it, doesn't it? Well, I can tell you what's out there. It's God. God created that one speck, and that speck has got so much in it that you and I can't even get our minds wrapped around it. And yet it's just the beginning. We're so impressed with our technology, and that we can measure the speed of light, which I seriously doubt. But the thing that we don't look at is what we don't know. Think about just one thing today. Think about that 90% of the human mind that none of us use. None of us have real working access to. And what happened to that 90%? What's blocking? And that's the key word here, blocking. What's blocking your access to that 90% of who you are, that you're packing around with you every day, that you can't get to because something is blocking it? And I believe that something is evil. And it goes back to day one in the garden, when Adam and Eve supposedly rebelled against God, and evil started in this world. You got it established. And that evil is there blocking that 90% of who and what you are from your access. It's boarded up against you. Let's tear the boards off and open that up and see what God intended for us in our access to God. Thanks. It's Reverend Bob signing off for the day. I'm getting ready to blow my shofar again 7 times to call on God to crash evil down on the heads of evil in Washington, D.C. and everywhere else in the world that it exists. Plenty of it out there. Lots of walls need crashing down. Take care.